Let's talk about the blues. Most of you have heard of the blues, know maybe a little bit about it. You've probably heard of the 12-bar blues, but I'm going to break it down a little bit. The blues started in the early 1900s, and it was born out of African slave culture. Field hollers, work songs, spirituals, and it was produced out of pain and hardship. These were tough times, and the primary instrument was the human voice, so you didn't always have an instrument around. When it first emerged, it was considered the devil's music, because when new sounds emerge, many times we don't like them because we're not used to them, so we fear them. That's what happened with the blues. There's a wonderful legend that I need to bring up about Robert Johnson. He was a guitar player, a teen in Mississippi, and he wanted to grow up to be a famous blues artist. And a couple of blues artists actually came to his hometown, a small town in rural Mississippi, and he went up to them and said, "I want to do what you do. I want to be the best." And they said, "Great, try it. Let's hear you play." So he played for them, and they weren't very impressed. They said, "Well, maybe you need to find something else to do." But the thing is that Robert Johnson went off and disappeared for a couple of years, and when he came back, he was better than anybody. So there was this legend that maybe he made a deal with the devil at the crossroads in Mississippi. He actually wrote a song called Crossroads. Anyway, just fun. Another name you should know about is Bessie Smith. She was an incredible artist known as the Empress of the Blues. She was one of the very first truly successful Black American women. She had a business sense, she had a miraculous voice, and the people in her sphere just swirled around her because she had such charisma. And she made good money being a blues artist. What are the aspects of blues? Okay, as we mentioned, emotion is the primary language. You have to use a blues scale. We've talked about blues scales before. That was one. And the other one was starting with a fifth, coming down by a half step, whole step, over to the minor seventh. So, and you can use either one. Another aspect of blues is you have to have blues rhythm. Swing was first established with the blues. Swing is when there is an uneven eighth note, the first half being longer. Swing it, swing it, swing it, swing it. I teach these as cherries. Cherry, 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 cherry. And cherries and triplets work together in blues to create interesting rhythms. So cherry, cherry, blueberry pie. So cherry, cherry, blueberry pie. Or pies are the quarter notes, by the way. Cherry pie, blueberry pie. You can work with these rhythms and get used to those rhythms within those scale tones, and you'll start sounding like you're a blues person. Another thing besides the rhythm is the harmony. The harmony, we will talk at a later episode about non-root chords. The harmonic basis for the 12-bar blues, which you may have heard of, mixes 1 chords, 4 chords, and 5 chords together in a particular order. This particular 12-bar blues form came later. It was a European influence. I'm going to play a sample of a piece called Pickin Blues, and you will hear the 12-bar blues at work in this piece, and then I'll show you just a few more tips on how to improv. On with more 12-bar blues. Now, how do you simplify this and do an improv with it? We talked about the cherries, the blueberries, and the importance of the scale. I'm going to have you just with your left hand do a fifth, going back and forth with a sixth. So, and stop while you're improvising with that scale, with the cherries and the blueberries. So it would be stop. Get the idea? Now you can make that even better if you do some repetitions. It's okay to repeat yourself. Don't get too fancy too fast. You get the idea. So have fun playing with that until next time. Thank you.